Bob of the BNS Awesome Podcast. We're here podcasting outside in less than ideal conditions.
And I'm Scott of the BNS Awesome Podcast. And, good news, we're on YouTube, kind of. And we're also on Spotify now.
We're still waiting to film those intros so we can put up the other stuff. Scott is not very presentable right now. He's covered in mustache grease and
beer juice. Yeah. Also, best podcast in the Ogg Valley, and this dog needs to shut the fuck up.
We're going to be picking up quite a lot with our setup today, our ad hoc setup.
Yes. So what do we do today, Bob?
Well, we're going to watch more stuff, but you can only handle so much. So we watched the first American Godzilla movie, and we played the Godzilla, the PS4 game.
Very enjoyable.
Scott, why don't you walk us through the movie that you never saw before?
Okay, so Matthew Broderick looks like Rick Moranis at the start, and he's in Chernobyl, and then a ship gets attacked, and then there's like a big stretch, and then you see Godzilla, and there's another big stretch, and they kind of kill Godzilla, and there's another stretch, and then there's Godzilla eggs, and the Godzilla eggs hatch, and then the eggs hatch, they blow up a building, then Godzilla comes back and chases them, and then he gets tangled up in a bridge and dies. Does that sum it up pretty good?
My God, it's been 20 years, and that's the best review I've ever heard.
2 hours and 18 minutes. Oh.
So, you don't watch that many Godzilla movies. We're working on that.
We're getting there.
What'd you think of your... What's this, your third or fourth? Or your second?
1, 2...
Because you're too cool to watch Legendary.
Well, I watched most of it.
Get
1,
this.
2,
Get this
3.
guy.
3, I guess.
Alright, so what are the ones you've seen?
I've seen Shin, Legendary, and this one. I'm sure I've seen... I think I might have seen Godzilla 2000, but I can't remember if I have or not. That's going back 2000, like that's 18 years.
This movie's 2 years older than that.
I know. That's 18 years, though, going back to 2000, so I can't remember. It's okay. It's got a lot of flaws. Like, a lot of flaws. Holy crap.
You're going to get into that while I be the devil's advocate?
No, I want to be the devil's advocate. For you tearing apart, as said by the interwebs, the worst Godzilla movie ever.
As much of a dumpster fire as it is, at least something happens in it, which is more than I can say about the...
Worst live action Godzilla movie ever.
I'm not really partial to Final Wars either, but that's neither here nor there.
So, Bob, what was your least favorite part of this movie?
I guess the part where Godzilla got killed by missiles.
Yeah, that kind of doesn't make sense, because isn't he supposed to absorb the energy of him? Or something like that from Shin?
It depends on what continuity.
I see. And what was your favorite part of this movie?
I like the part where it was over.
That was a really good part. Strong credit roll. Those credit rolls got real good towards the end.
It actually does have moments I don't totally hate, so...
The CG in it's
well,
okay at points.
Like I said, supposedly the Blu-ray release came out and they finished off the special effects, so I'm kind of curious to see that.
Do you think that they finished off the special effects, or were they like, well, we're just going to release it, and then like 10 years down the road, some guy was like, we should really like, maybe we should try and redo this and make it look better?
I followed this movie a lot when it was coming out, and I followed it a lot, you know, in hindsight. And what's come to bear is that they were literally at the 11th hour before the movie was released. Like, there was no test screening to change.
Wait, was it Fox that released this movie?
No, it was Sony.
Oh. Same difference. They both suck.
I do not represent this man's...
Yes, you do.
Opinions on...
Your name is on the podcast. You have to represent it. You lose.
We can have differing opinions on things. Okay, Fox made Star Wars. Fox made Jaws.
Not 20th Century Fox, just Fox.
Once again, my opinions are not represented by this man.
I just go with things, okay, and such.
But anyhow, there are parts of this movie I don't mind. But like I was saying before I was interrupted by my associate and those dogs.
Fox! that fucking dog. Just gonna start throwing fucking poison meat over there. I mean, I'm a good upstanding citizen.
Okay, so like I was saying, it was the 11th hour. They didn't have any test screenings for the movie.
Really?
The executives saw it like minutes supposedly before. Like, that's an exaggeration, but the special effects, they had no time to finish it. They didn't finish like cutting. That's like the whole thing was a dumpster fire, and they basically ran out of time.
Like, how big was... I wonder how big the budget was for this.
I believe it was over 160,000, maybe 200,000, but that doesn't count.
1,000?
Sorry,
or million.
Million, but I can't count into advertising for that. But no, I enjoy.
Okay, so the budget was 125 million, and its box office made 179 million.
Yeah, but that doesn't count in for advertising.
That's true, but still, like, it wasn't like a critical failure.
Okay, for advertising, usually take at least half your budget.
Yeah.
But they did more advertising for this film, so...
So even if they threw in another 100 million for their marketing, that still puts them at an overage. Like, it's not a failure.
Unless they, like you say, unless they spent more on budget, or unless they... That's an estimate. They don't know that for sure. I've seen higher estimates. The other thing they don't know is, like I say, if they put, like, 200 million in advertising, then they lost money. There's a reason they never made a sequel, Scott.
Unless they, like you said, maybe they just played with the numbers. You can fidget things around real easily in that industry, I think.
Are you trying to say that Hollywood is full of liars?
These are the representations of my associate here, and only my associate. But yes, that's the only way they could have done it. It's like we were talking about that game for Xbox, State of Decay 2.
Yes.
So it says that State of Decay 2 has over... It's one of the top selling games of the month. But the only reason I think that it has that is because everybody that buys Game Pass technically buys that game. Right? That was like Sea of Thieves. Sea of Thieves was one of those games also that was really high on the charts.
Yeah, I never understood that because I never bothered to look into it. I was like, this game looks terrible.
And it was terrible. So that's the really weird part, right? Like, is it just the numbers from Game Pass that the people get, or how that works? There's some fuckery afoot. So what else you guys say about this movie, Bob?
I like the score.
I like the Simpsons cast because I like the Simpsons.
I like the score of the movie. The music, especially the opening intro, is quite excellent. The soundtrack is... I own a couple copies in the collector's copy because I actually do like the music.
But like you said, 90% of that movie is a ripoff from from Led Zeppelin, is it not? That's
the popular, because there's, when movies come out, there's usually a couple soundtracks. There's like the OST, which is the original soundtrack, and then there's like one of the ones came out. It came out with Hero and all these other. It only came with 2 actual musical score. Yeah, it only came with 2 actual tracks from the movie. Oh. The rest were all pop songs. I'm going deeper underground. I'm going. You know, I didn't like that.
When you say Hero, I think Enrique.
I didn't like the soundtrack of that per se with all the pop songs, but I like the actual musical score.
Oh, I agree. It was a good musical score. But another thing I just found out is if we cut parts from the movie, like the sound files from the movie, and put it into our reviews, technically it's not copyright because we're using it for review purposes.
Oh my god, he actually read up fair use.
That's right. See? I'm trying to make the podcast a little bit better. Right?
So we're going to do like a 90-second loop of, wow, that's a lot of fish.
That's a lot of fish.
So yeah, no, it was okay. I wouldn't probably watch it again. The music was subpar. The plot was garbage.
You know, I just said the score was good, and then he said the music was subpar. It's like he's trying to get a rise out of me, or is inconsistent. One of those two things.
Subpar is in like it wasn't For me, it wasn't great. I don't know. I didn't like the movie, really.
I also don't like the movie, but I'm willing to look past some of its faults.
I know, because you're a lot nicer guy than me, Bob. But, like, when the old man is reeling in the fish, because he caught a fish, and the line's going way out, but Godzilla's coming in, stuff like that is what catches my attention.
There is a somewhat plausible. Perhaps Godzilla accidentally caught it on his hand when he was swimming in.
Yeah,
so as
right.
he's getting closer, the rod's going out.
You're a lover of this movie.
Oh yeah, just like me and Roland Emmerich and Dean Devlin, we actually just go to. I go to their house in L.A. and all three of us make out. I say, "Oh God, why didn't you make another one?" They're like, "Oh, we just couldn't." I stick your tongue in my ear.
No, rub your beard where it counts. I don't know. I'm just trying to think what my favorite part of the movie is. There isn't many. The blonde girl's okay looking. I don't even know what her name is.
Yeah, this movie kind of ruined her career, as far as I understand.
Yeah, obviously. Hank Azaria, he's usually pretty funny. He had some okay parts, but like, it wasn't good. I give it I'll go like this. Street Fighter was a much better movie than this.
Street Fighter is a much better movie than this. I don't care what Street Fighter, as long as it, like, arguably even the Chun-Li one is better.
Chun-Li gets a 5 compared to this movie.
I really hate that movie. I do. I hate Chun-Li way more than I hate Godzilla.
So, I would give it a 1.
I know you haven't bothered to watch the whole movie because you're too cool to watch a dark, somber movie by one of my favorite directors, Mr. Gareth Edwards.
Gareth Edwards. What else has he directed?
He made Monsters, and then he also did a little Star Wars movie. You may have heard of it. It was called Rogue One.
Written by Gary Whitta, I heard. There's some knowledge for you, Bob.
This is what we need video for this podcast, because you had to see that face.
That's right.
You know that smug face of the guy who's like got the thing in his hand, says he wants this, and then he crushes it in his hand, and then he does that face. That was your face.
Oh, what else has he done? I'm trying to see what else he's done, because Monster was.
It doesn't matter, because he has directed the best American Godzilla movie ever released. And that's going to be, people are going to be fighting me on this if they were listening. They're going to be like, oh, the Krampus director, he's directing Godzilla King of the Monsters. That's coming out 2019. It looks so good. I'm on the fence. I'm on the fence for this movie, which really upsets me.
I also, I really like Aaron Tyler Johnson from the Godzilla Legendary.
I know, like, people say, oh, he's boring. He is a boring character. That's not bad. He has one goal: to get back to his family, to get them out of the city.
Right.
He has a boring job, he's a boring guy, and he cares about his family. That's really, He cares about his dad. He goes along with his dad's crazy scheme, even though he doesn't believe his dad. And he's like, oh, wait, I guess my dad was right.
And his dad is also Malcolm in the Middle.
Well, he's Bryan
Cranston. But yeah, going in back to our legendary Godzilla review, Scarlet Witch is also in this.
Yes, they're married. It's funny.
Beautiful. She's fucking beautiful. Yeah, I wouldn't. At the runtime is ridiculous on it too. Like, it's 2 hours and 18 minutes. You could have cut that thing down to like an hour, 105 minutes, hour and a half, right?
Well, yeah, but then you'd miss all the great scenes. Like, I got a bad feeling about this.
Oh no! Look, there's another tire bouncing down the road. I don't know. Like I said, I give it a 1.
Ooh, that's tough. I was gonna give it a 2.
The only,
give it 1.5.
The only reason it gets a 1 is because I like Matthew Broderick and I like Hank Azaria, and that blonde girl's cute.
Ruined her career.
Ruined it. Wait, has the guy that made this movie went on to make other?
Yes, they've made several movies. They made 2012, Day After Tomorrow. What are the other ones? 2012, Day After Tomorrow. He only makes one movie. Oh yeah, I forgot the big one, Independence Day. When they made Independence Day, people were like, "Oh my god, these are the greatest directors I've ever seen. Give them all the money."
Okay, he has my respect. He did Stargate. Stargate was pretty good. He did The Patriot.
Oh yeah, I forgot that's a movie I actually do enjoy of his.
And the new Independence Day, 2012, 10,000 BC, The Day After Tomorrow, Independence Days. Oh, Universal Soldier. What happened to this guy's career? He went from good movies to terrible movie, and then back again.
Well, he has gone on record saying he doesn't like the original Godzilla movies, and he admires Spielberg. So people figure that this movie is just trying to make Jurassic Park, but bigger and better, because he loves Spielberg.
And you can tell by the frickin' one scene at the end of the movie where they're running through a stadium. It's the raptor scene from Jurassic Park. Yeah, I'd give it a 1. I can't give it any higher. I guess you could give it I'd give it a 1.5 for the music being subpar. But yeah.
I'll bump up. I'll give it a 2.5 then, if we're going to include the music.
But then the CGI brings it back down to a 1.
I'm curious. I'll get the Blu-ray and I'll see. Yes, I'll still support this movie even 20 years later to get the Blu-ray to see if they actually fixed up the incomplete effects.
Bob has also went and told me that he's watched this movie over 50 times.
I've watched like every Godzilla movie over 50 times.
So he would know more than me, but just from like first impressions, yeah. And it started to rain.
In our opinion, the first American Godzilla movie wasn't too good, according to popular opinion of us two reviewers. As long as we're talking about American stuff, let's revisit just one specific part. What did you think of the Mechagodzilla in Ready Player One? I say that because today is the day the digital release has been released.
Oh, it's out?
Yep.
It is the songbird of our generation.
It is the greatest Mechagodzilla movie of 2018.
To date?
I already saw this. I told you the second.
No, I mean to date. Like out of all of them, or just that one?
There's only one American Mechagodzilla movie.
Oh, and that's it. So it is the songbird of its generation.
Yes.
It's like listening to Prince for the first time.
You'll never hear a new song.
That's right. Like listening to Purple Rain for the first time, or Garth Brooks.
That's how good it was. And that movie was directed by Spielberg.
And the thunder rolls, and the lightning strikes. Bow, bow, bow. That's how it goes. That's Garth Brooks for you. I just blew somebody's mind. I know it.
But so yeah, what do you think of those? Just if you were to ignore all of Ready Player One for the issues that you don't like, and you just thought about that one fight, what's your opinions on that Mechagodzilla and the fight?
9.
Out of
10. 9.
Even though we use a 5-go system, you pick a 9.
Okay, we'll go with a 4.75.
Anything you like specifically about that part of the movie?
He just looks badass. That fight is fucking phenomenal. I like it. I'm gonna go simple and just say I liked it. I really enjoyed it. The fighting was good.
What did you think about... Did I ever actually get a review from you of Legendary, or did we not do that?
I don't think we've done Legendary yet. Give me a week or so. I'll sit down and choke through it.
He'll choke through one of the darkest, and by darkest I mean poorly lit. It all happens at nighttime.
It does. I got up to the part where the 3 velociraptor, or not velociraptor, flying bird things come. And that's about it.
I think you need to rewatch that movie.
The fucking electric birds that climb up the buildings? I may have been drunk watching this by the way you're looking at me.
Okay, first of all, in the Legendary movie, there's Godzilla and there's 2 opponent monsters. So there's not going to be 3 flying monsters in this movie regardless.
I may or may not have been drunk. Budweiser, the new sponsor of the BNS Awesome Podcast. What the fuck I want.
I guess we'll review that one later. This is a very impromptu podcast. But then we played the PS4 game, Godzilla.
It's just Godzilla?
Yep, that's clearly what the title says. Just Godzilla.
Just Godzilla. Well, made by Bandai Namco.
Yeah, they make a bunch of good games and they make a bunch of bad games.
Really bad games. But there's a new Adventure Time game. An RPG sandboxy kind of deal. I kind of want to check that out.
I guess we could talk about Adventure Time too, if we want to talk about a TV show.
We could.
Alright, so what do you think of the game first?
It's fun. It brought me back to like the Rampage series. The feel of like destroying buildings and stuff. But the mechanic that throws me off the most is like You're turning.
Is all the bumpers?
Yeah, you're using your left and right bumper, L1 and R2 to turn Godzilla rather than using your other joystick.
I just don't like using the PS4 controller. It feels like a controller for sissies.
I'm also not a fan. But there's certain games it does work for. I'll say that God of War works perfectly with that controller.
Sorry, I can't hear over the Sexbox Master Race.
Yes.
And don't even get involved, you PC gamers.
I will... no, I won't say it. PC sucks still. No.
Well, just think, when you're using a PC game, you could use your mouse and keyboard, or you could use a Sexbox controller.
Yeah. How many PC gamers have purchased an Xbox controller just to play rather than buying their beloved Steam controller? That's right.
Ah, help, there's a cat coming at me.
It's coming right for you, Bob. What? She looks like she's going to jump on me. I don't know. She had a weird look in her eye. Anyways, I liked it. I thought it was fun. Music was good. I like the music. It's got that like bum 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 bum.
You just did Star Wars. That was Star Wars you just did.
Yeah, that's what I said. Bum 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 Bob. I don't know. It just has that dark grittiness to it, and then you get like.
Oh my god! I think he's drinking right now, ladies and gentlemen. he's drinking Budweiser.
New podcast sponsor Budweiser. It'll get you fucked up and you'll sleep with your sister. Budweiser, king of beers. Yep, that's what it does.
Well, as long as we're talking on the efforts of insanity, I was thinking about doing something like this with mine, even though mine's like a different style, just because it does give you some privacy.
Oh, yeah. It's nice, eh? We're talking about my deck, just because I got lost in that, too. My deck is kind of somewhat secluded, but not really. It's kind of nice. I like it. We've been thinking about closing it in. So, back to BNS Renovation Podcast. We're going to put up some 2x4s over here.
Yeah, well, we should actually do that one day, do a BNS renovation episode, film it for YouTube.
Oh, will we make that set?
Like I say, we gotta film some intros, and Scott's gotta clean up a little bit, and I gotta clean up. I might shave this dirty mustache off. I saw JJ the other day because they let us go work from like 2 minutes early, but I still was on the radio because I gotta be on the radio. So I just went to pit control, and then JJ saw me. He's like, "Oh, look at that mustache!" And I was like, "Yeah, maybe it's time to shave."
Never, Bob. You are the Walter Cronkite of the BNS Awesome Podcast. Best podcast in the Elk Valley. Godzilla the game. We didn't get too far into it, and it was kind of weird.
We got to stage 17 of like 20, I think.
Yeah, it was kind of weird the way they do the leveling up system. I don't know how it all works, but
well, like they want you to play through all the different modes several times and unlock stuff.
Yeah, do you think you will?
Yeah, I'll do it, and I'll take video of it.
You like that? So yeah, and we also now have a capture card now, where Bob has
capture cat. We got a capture cat right there.
Yeah, Bob has the means to getting us some recorded footage for our podcast or for our YouTube videos. So that'll be good.
Yeah, Scott was supposed to do it first, but maybe I'll end up posting the first video game review episode. He's got children and they're ruining his life. He's like, every day's off, I have to go spend time with them, and
they hug me and like want to be near me and hang off me.
They're like leeches. That's literally the definition of leeches.
Slowly sucking the life force from me. No, I love my children most of the time. Budweiser, king of beers. What else? I don't know. I won't give it a review yet.
What did you saw a couple designs you'd never seen before, because I know you're not familiar with the series.
Oh yeah, what the hell was the one I just fought last?
Biollante.
That thing's awesome. I like the little Venus flytrap hands it's got.
It's surprisingly fast for being a giant plant.
Right? Got it. I got to it, and it has a stupid mechanic where it has like a time trial. and then you have to beat a boss. Bob didn't get one of these, but I got both of them, and they sucked. They're really hard.
I just got to fight Space Godzilla in the middle of a harbor.
Yeah, that was really weird. It was just like, oh no,
what
it's Godzilla.
what do you think of Space Godzilla?
Space Godzilla, Space Godzilla. That's what I thought of Space Godzilla.
Does his design seem a little absurd to you?
It looks like he has tits on his back. Big, floppy flappers. Also brought to you by Budweiser. Yeah, it was okay. What was the bird guy?
Rodan.
Rodan. He looks pretty cool.
So yeah, in the movie coming out, there's gonna be Ghidorah.
Which was the first one we fought?
That was the one in the cutscene, the big golden dragon.
Okay,
3 heads.
so that's Ghidorah.
Mothra.
Mothra was the first one we fought.
No, you fought Batra.
Is Mothra the one who was like, eh?
No, that's Baragon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we were watching behind the footage of Godzilla, Mothra, King Ghidorah, and we were watching whoever is it? Her name is it Ray something?
Ray Dawn, I don't know.
Anyhow, she's the suit actress of Baragon, and we're showing the footage of when she's making the noise from inside the suit, and the ears are going for her, and she's going, ah, ah.
And it's hilarious. It's fucking priceless, actually. So I don't know. I don't want to give it a review yet.
I'll give it a review when I do the full playthrough,
Yeah,
and
I'll let you give it a full review when we do the playthrough. First impressions, good.
It is a very specific game for a very specific fan base.
Yeah,
if you're not a Godzilla fan, you're not going to be playing this game because it's
like
slow and bulky controls because you're a slow and bulky monster.
I would like to see a better control turn system. That's my one flaw. I don't know. The AI can be stupid too. You can hide behind stuff with them. It's okay. I guess like a 3. I would check it out if you want to play a monster game.
Yes.
Or a big giant monster game.
What are we gonna do when we start reviewing Gundam nonsense? We have to do a Gundam review of a Gundam game. I got 2 games I want to review. I'm just curious if I can get the capture card to work on PlayStation 2. I think I can.
Should work. I'm down for watching some Gundam.
Might have to get a converter box to convert the 3 line into HDMI.
We'll figure it out. What else? What else have we been up to?
Well, I've been working and you've been vacationing, but soon I'm going to be going on vacation and you'll be working.
Where are you going on vacation to?
I will be taking a business trip to Ontario, so if you have anything I need to take care of out there, we should do it.
Okay. When is that?
I'm going in August.
Okay. Oh, we got lots of time. We got a month.
We got to get to Vancouver sometime to take care of your other business.
We're going to go and see your sister. We're going to go see your sister. And I'm going to do a podcast with her. And we're also going to go see a friend of mine.
Yeah, if you do if you do a podcast with her, it's going to be the SNS show, and
that's right.
We'll never be allowed on.
That's right. It will be the SNS show, and it will be wonderful. And we are not from.
It's not wonderful. It's wunderbar.
Wunderbar. And there will be no Jews there. Just kidding. But yeah, so we're gonna do that with your sister. And then I would like to do one with a friend of mine, Jomo Senpai, Twitch streamer.
That guy sounds like a weeb.
He kind of is, Bob. You guys will geek out for sure.
Yeah, but I'm the kind of guy who, if somebody called me a weeb, I'd just go to sleep because I'm not out of it. Like, I finally just got through watching I finally watched the whole thing of My Hero Academia or Boku no Hero, whatever. Boku no Hero Academy, whatever you want to call it. I liked it. I liked the music in it, but it's not like I was like, oh my god, I gotta watch this like when it's coming out now. And now it's like, yeah, I'll watch it whenever I feel like it.
I would also like to do like a Kevin Smith movie sooner or later. I would like to do Dogma. I love Dogma.
Actually, I had Dogma sitting on top of the pile of Blu-rays when I was looking through there.
Really?
I got it.
It's good.
I know it's good. It's okay.
I really enjoy it.
I don't know. It doesn't really have much them in it much. Like they're kind of in it, but like.
That's true. I just love the movie, like the big giant shit monster, and like Rufus, the Black Apostle. There was 13 apostles. You know why I never heard of me? Because I'm black. It doesn't get much better than that.
Okay, so to end this rambling nonsense off of our outdoors ad hoc podcast, you started watching Adventure Time recently.
I did. And I've been enjoying it a lot. I haven't watched a ton. It's just whatever is on YouTube. And I watched, so far, my favorite episode. And it's where Baxter... What the heck's his name? Baxter Jones or something? The horse on the balloon. He pops his balloon. And then Finn's the dog, right?
Yeah, no,
Jake's the dog. So Jake goes to to see the dumpster princess. And there's just one part where they're looking for like stuff to patch up this balloon. And he's like, "Oh my god. BMC or BMO? BMO, I think I found it." And it's like the shape that looks like a ball covered up by like a rug. And they move it, and it's a dumpster princess. She's like, "Oh, sorry. I was just pretending to be a ball." And it's just great. So, yeah.
Any show with John DiMaggio in it is golden.
Who does he play in it?
Jake.
Oh.
I like that episode of Futurama.
Sure is.
What time is it? It's time for you to shut the hell up. I think it might just be time to shut up, but
Yeah, no, it's good. So far, I've been enjoying it. I want to get a little more into it and actually get some seasons, maybe. So, yeah.
well, as long as we're doing fair use, keep on yammering, and I'll just.
Yeah. Yeah, we could do some fair use. No, it's different. Here we go. This is the clip we're talking about.
This is totally high tech what we're doing right now.
What time is it? Time for you to shut up.
There we go. That's the clip we're talking about. Because
Can you see that over the radio? Oh wait, this is on the internet.
through the interwebs. Oh my god! You mean our voices could reach millions?
So I was really bored. Also, last night at about 4 in the morning when I couldn't sleep. Wi-Fi is just radio waves.
Huh. You just realized
I
that?
was wondering because I was like, I can get internet in Ontario off of a giant radio antenna, and if you really wanted to, I could send Wi-Fi from my house to where we work, like 12 kilometers away with a dish.
Really?
So I was just thinking, I was like, what kind of signal is Wi-Fi? Is it like analog, digital, and apparently it's just radio.
That's like if you have your phone in your car and you don't have it hooked up to like Bluetooth or anything, you hear that mer 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 coming through your radio, and then you get text. That's right. You heard it here first, folks. Some revolutionary shit coming out of the BNS Awesome podcast.
And I heard if you have a cat,
And it
cats freak
meows.
out before it rains.
I could see that. I could see that. But, yeah. So, for the BNS Awesome podcast, I'm Scott.
And I'm Bob.
If you'd like to reach us, you can get a hold of us at www.twitch. Oh, no, that's how you get a hold of me. Sorry.
Yeah, you can keep going.
Oh, www.twitch.tv/inkguy. You can also find us on Spotify now. Just search up the BNS Awesome Podcast. We can also be found on Stitcher, BNS Awesome Podcast, iTunes, BNS Awesome Podcast, BeanPod, BNS Awesome Podcast. You can email us at at bnsawesomepodcast@gmail.com.
One important question before we sign off. Have we ever got any email since we last talked? Has anyone contacted you for any reason?
Oh, yeah. Like, I talked to our buddy over at Artifix Mundi, Lucas, and they were informing me about a new game we will be checking out very soon called My Brother's Bear. I believe it's either My Brother's Bear or My Brother Bear. Or Rabbit. Oh, fuck. What? My Brother's Rabbit.
This is brought to you by Budweiser.
King of beer. You'll sleep with your sister and fight your father. Budweiser. New podcast sponsor of the BNS Awesome Podcast.
You know, the only positive outcome of this is us not being sued by Budweiser.
That's right. Hey, King of beer.
They're not gonna send us any free stuff.
No, we're not getting nothing. This next one goes out to rain. If it's wet, it must be rain. I don't know.
Anybody else, like any private individuals asking questions?
No, we have not received any questions lately. I know that we have got some new listeners lately through Spotify and whatever other means. So by all means, write in at bnsawesomepodcast@gmail.com.
Suggestions, complaints, questions, whatever. We'll take anything. Our Xbox giveaway is still going because no one's cool enough to. Well, the one person who was cool enough to ask us a question didn't want anything, which is kind of a downer. Like, that was the best question we've ever been asked. And we're going to have to do, like, multiple comebacks to it because we're still not totally convinced. We spent, like, a week and a half doing research, and we're still not convinced.
So, yeah, we have an Xbox. We have some games to give away. We have a ton of stuff to give away. We just want to hear from you. Questions, whatever, comments, concerns. I've even hidden stuff inside the notes in the files that you download. There's one that says if all you have to do is send me an email saying comment and you win an Xbox.
Is it the comment that I already gave people answers to and they were too lazy to get in on the deal?
No, it was literally if you read this, all you have to do is send me an email saying comment and you win this, and it was on like 3 episodes ago. So they can't win it from that now. Yeah.
Remember, kids, you gotta be in it to win it. Well, we're going to sign off now, but as long as we're signing off, let's get an opinion from a young listener. Come here, Lexi.
Come here. Quick. Come here.
Do you have any questions for the BNS Also podcast, little girl?
Hamsters sing songs.
That's not a question.
Do hamsters sing songs is what you mean to say. Is that what you mean to say?
Yeah.
Say it then. Say.
Why do hamsters sing?
That's not the question you originally asked. They sing because they're sad. They make that squeaking noise when you squeeze them. They're not singing, they're screaming.
No, they hiss.
They hiss.
Yeah, they hiss.
Oh, okay. Well, you heard it here on the BNS Awesome podcast.
Hamsters hiss. They're like giant cats, only small.
Only small little cats. Okay. Signing off.
Let's get out of here. BNS Also podcast. Thanks for listening.